1. So, a bit of background. I used to work at a very large superstore as a cashier. I had a few odd experiences there, some crazy, some idiots, some drunk, some that were a combination of the three. Now, like all stores of this type I have visited, mine had security checkpoints by each door. You know, those things that set off an alarm if you take something that has a sensor in the packaging out without scanning it. These usually have cardboard advertisements on them for things the store offers or offered by the company. Today's story involves a customer not understanding an ad and making it my fault. Cast as me, crazy customer, CC, and boss, B. I'm about halfway done through one customer's items when CC comes storming up to the register I'm working at.
Hey, do you guys have Hellflix?
I'm sorry? He gives me a "what are you stupid" look.
Hellflix? Do you guys carry it or what?
It takes me a moment to switch gears. Oh, Hellflix. The streaming service.
Yeah, do you carry it or what?
I'm sorry, sir, but I don't understand. We carry multiple devices in the back that you can stream Hellflix from, but...
No, I mean, do you have it? I want to buy Hellflix.
I blink. I'm not sure what he means, so I try to keep helping him while he steps in front of the customer I was helping before. Well, sir, it's not something you can really buy in the store. It's a service that you apply for on...
No. You have the ad posted right up there at the front of the store, and I want to buy it. Why is it so hard to figure out?
Like I am trying to tell you, sir, you don't buy it. You subscribe to it. And you can't do that here, They cut me off again.
You sound like that idiot in the electronics section. I just want to buy your fucking streaming service. What part of that is not clear to you fucking idiots?
By now B has heard the commotion and has come running. What seems to be the problem here?
Finally! You hire a bunch of idiots here, don't you? I keep telling this boy that I want to buy Hellflix, and he doesn't seem to be getting the picture.
Sir, Hellflix is a streaming service like Netflix or Hulu. It is not something physical you can pick up and take out of the store with you. The man only seemed to hear parts of her sentence.
No, I don't want Hulu or Netflix. I want goddamn Hellflix. What is wrong with you people? Just give me Hellflix!
Sir, as we've both tried to explain to you, you need to sign up for Hellflix, not purchase it here. CC lets out a frustrated yell and stomps off. I think that's the end of it. But less than a minute later, he's back with the cardboard display ripped from the scanner in his hands.
I fucking want this!
After screaming, he chucks the cardboard at me. It's light, so it doesn't really do any real damage, but I let out a surprised sputter and I can't really be seen behind it. I hear B talking very rapidly on her walkie-talkie and hurrying footsteps. As I pull the cardboard sheath away from my face, I see her running after CC towards the parking lot, screaming the whole time about how stupid we all were at that particular store. They got his license plate number off the security cameras and banned him from our store. Come to find out, he had done pretty much the exact same thing at 3 other stores in the area. 2. Okay, for some background, I used to work at a retail store with a terrible reputation. That is the setting for many stories. The important detail is that the uniform is black pants with usually a white shirt and a blue vest. Just over a week ago, at the start of the summer break, I asked for more hours over the break because, well, money for rent and things is nice to have. Anyway, after much back and forth with my manager, it was decided I would only be given between 8 and 20 hours per week over the summer. I asked if it was possible to get more by working in other departments, but the answer was always no. Never given a reason. Managers sucked sometimes. As a result, I started looking for another job and ended up getting a job at another retail location who offered 40 hours a week and would work around my school schedule in the fall. I put in my 2 weeks' notice with my old job, stating I was not happy with the number of hours I was going to get. They wished me well, and I began working at my new job. An important detail is that the uniform for my current work is black pants with a black-collared shirt with red accents, with the company logo on the front of the shirt. Very different from the uniform at my previous work. An important detail is that these 2 locations were physically close to each other, and I would shop at my previous job. I often saw old co-workers and even my old manager a few times. There was the odd customer who recognized me from my previous job, and they would ask where I had been lately. This was when I would explain that I had left for a different position. Most of the time they wouldn't mind and just go on with their own business, so there is no problem. Not this time. So anyway, a few days ago I had just gotten off of a 9-hour shift and was exhausted both mentally and physically. I need to pick up a few things, so I decide to pick them up before I go home so that I can properly flop on the couch when I get home. I walk into my old job with headphones in, listening to my latest audiobook, while wearing the black and red uniform of my current job. I see some familiar faces and wave to them, but don't stop to talk as I'm tired of interacting with people and just want to get my stuff so I can go home. I begin weaving through the various aisles, gathering the things I need, putting them into my handbasket. I'm halfway down the chip aisle trying to decide which bag to grab, when an old woman tries to grab a bag that is above her head and she just can't reach. She struggles for a few seconds before I notice, which is when I grab the bag and pass it to her. She thanks me and turns to go about her shopping when she accidentally knocks over one of the jars of salsa dip that they have near the chips. The glass jar drops to the floor and shatters upon impact, spraying glass and salsa everywhere. The lady jumps in surprise and I flinch as I hear the jar shatter through my audiobook. The lady tries to apologize, but I say it's okay. 2 steps away, there is a wall-mounted phone, and me being a former employee, I knew the code to page over the system. I took out one of my headphones in preparation of what I was about to do. So technically this was kind of my own fault. I take 2 steps to the phone, being careful of the broken glass and salsa, and page for the maintenance guy to come clean up the mess. While I am doing this, the old lady runs off out of the aisle and another woman turns into the aisle and sees me on the phone making a page. This woman, I kid you not, was the perfect image of the stereotypical Karen, including the hair, glasses, and high heels. She looked frustrated and was storming towards me as I hung up the phone. "Okay, Karen, OM old manager, me, myself." At first I didn't properly hear what the lady said, as I still had my audiobook playing in one ear, but I imagine it was something like, "Finally, someone to help me." Once I realized she was trying to talk to me, I took my other headphone out of my ear. "Hi?" Slightly confused as to why she was talking to me. "Excuse me, you should listen when a customer speaks to you." "What?" "And you shouldn't have headphones in while you're working, it's poor manners." It's at this point she reaches out and tries to grab at my headphones hanging from my neck. "What the fuck are you doing?" I said as I stepped back away from her and out of her reach. "How dare you speak to a customer that way?" "What are you talking about?" "You just made a page. I recognize you. You work here." She begins to get more and more upset. "I don't work here anymore, lady." "Yes, you do. I saw you working here the other week pushing carts in." "I quit this place a year ago. There is no way you saw me pushing in carts, Karen." Yes, I called her that again, long day, and I am done with people. "My name is not Karen. And you do work here. Now where is your manager? I'm going to get you fired for this." Good luck with that. As I said, I quit and got a different job. I then point to the logo of my current work in my shirt. "Don't you lie to me, I am a customer. You still work here, and you have to help me." As luck would have it, my old manager walks around the corner into the aisle to see what all the commotion is about. Finally, a manager. "I'm going to get you fired." "Hi there. Might I ask what is going on here?" "OP, did you make that page?" "Yes, Your employee didn't listen to me and swore at me. I want you to fire him right this second." "OP, is this true?" My old manager asks, looking to me, but Karen continues before I can say anything. "He shouldn't have headphones when he's working. He should listen to the customers." "Miss, I have to ask you to calm down," which never works. "Calm down? Calm down? I will not calm down. You need to fire him now." "Miss, please calm down or I will have to get security." This shuts her up real quick. "Now, OP, what happened?" I then explain what happened to my old manager as the maintenance guy shows up to clean up the mess, but ends up joining the small crowd that has gathered to watch the show. "Okay then. OP, thank you for calling in the spill, but..." "What are you doing? You need to fire him!" "Miss, I am going to have to ask you to leave now." "You can't do that!" "Yes, I can. Now please leave before I call security." Karen then huffs and spins on her heels and starts to walk toward the exit. As she walks, she ends up slipping on the salsa on the floor and falling down. Before my old manager or anyone else could offer to help her, she scrambles to her feet and runs out of the store. As I was saying, OP, thanks for calling in the spill, but next time find someone who still works here, so they can page. "Sure thing. Sorry about all this." It's alright, it happens, but don't let it happen again. I then proceed to chat with my old manager about how my current job is going, as the maintenance guy cleans up the mess. I then pay for my things and leave. Just to clear up a few points, this happened in Canada. The maintenance guy had started cleaning up the salsa spill when the lady slipped and had apparently tried to stop her from walking over it but failed. He had his spill signs up and everything. And yes, I did have the uniform shirt on, but no name tag or anything to identify me. As far as I know, she hasn't come knocking at my current job. 3. I work at an express exterior-only car wash. I don't do any of the washing myself, I just keep the place looking tidy, report any damaged equipment, guide people's cars into the wash, customers stay inside their vehicles, cash them out, and press the buttons that correspond to their wash, and the equipment does all the rest. Today was a pretty busy Saturday. We had cars lined up all the way out the parking lot. Everything was going smoothly until I'm guiding a car in, and suddenly the power goes out. I inform my manager and start to deal with the 2 cars that are already in the wash tunnel. First guy I talked to was about 1/4 of the way into the tunnel. He had basically just gotten sprayed with soap. I told him what had happened and what our plan was to get him and his vehicle out safely, and he was pretty chill and down to wait while we got the other guy in front of him out of the wash first. I walked over to the second customer, about 3/4 of the way through the wash, who was just starting to get rinsed off before the power went out. He was an older gentleman, probably in his early 60s. I informed him what happened and went over the same things I went over with the previous customer. When I told him what was going on, he began to get irate with me. He would throw his hands in the air. He began complaining about how the soap was going to dry on his vehicle, how he couldn't believe this, and was just extremely frustrated over this inconvenience. I apologized for the situation and told him he could travel down the street to our sister location for a free wash, if he was really concerned about the soap damaging his paint, which I assured him wouldn't happen in the first place, but I wanted to ease his mind. He declined and kept going on about how much bullshit this was and how terrible of a job I'm doing, as though he was blaming me for the power outage. With a last-ditch effort to make this guy happy, I told him that if he would like to come back later tonight, or even tomorrow, we could give him a free wash to make it up to him. Again, he didn't listen to me and just kept telling me how angry he was and how stupid this situation was. At this point, my manager had joined me to get ready to help pull the cars out, and he heard everything this guy was saying to me. I finally gave up and told the guy, "Well, I'm sorry, sir, let's get you out of here, and I hope you have a great day." And manager and I proceeded to pull the equipment away from his vehicle as he drove out as not to cause any damage. As soon as he pulled out, I turned to my manager and we both gave each other a face like, what's this guy's deal? They say to be patient with customers who come in angry because you don't know what happened to them before they came in, and one little inconvenience to you could be the cherry on top of their horrible day. I fully agree with that statement because it's a very possible scenario. And I'm sure something must have happened to this guy before he came through, because if not, then he was seriously angry at me for not stopping a power outage. What a thing to be angry at. 4. I left my part-time job at a department store with a red logo about 6 months earlier to accept full-time work at a red poloed grocery store. There was a new store manager that had just transferred in, and he was about the worst customer service tyrant I ever met, so it was all very well timed. We didn't work together long enough to learn each other's names, but I'll never forget his catchphrase, "Give him the pickle," which was his way of saying the customer is always right, for some weird reason. Anyway, I needed a new pair of uniform pants, decided to stop by and scope out the ladies' clearance on the way home from work, not thinking the uniform would be an issue as the department store didn't use uniforms when I worked there. So I began to start digging through the clearance racks, mostly undisturbed. I worked in men's originally, and it was a large store, so different departments didn't interact a lot, when a wild Karen appeared.
Do you know where the formal dresses are?
I don't even look up. I think they're around the back of the store.
Can you see if they have this in black, medium?
She holds up a sweater on a hanger. No, sorry, I don't work here. Someone can help you out the counter around the corner.
But you're in uniform.
I actually work at Gregarious Gary's grocery store. The people here wear red lanyards with the company name.
But you knew where the dresses are.
Sorry, someone at the counter can help you. At this point, she throws the hanger and sweater combo in my direction and actually stamps her foot like a toddler. I figure at this point that it's not going to de-escalate and I should probably just lay low until this woman finds a real employee. So I wander away to housewares, while Karen screams threats of,
"You better hope I don't find the counter," and "I'll have your job."
It's about 10 minutes later when Karen matches up with store manager in tow. I'm busy admiring the weird 17-in-1 breakfast maker they're selling. Now it's important to mention at this point that sometime during the reign of SM and my 6-month absence, a uniform change had been made. Floor staff still only wore lanyards, but any receiving and stock associates wore red polos. So I kind of understand how this last part happened, but still.
"That's her. She was incredibly rude."
SM looks me up and down.
"I'm incredibly sorry, ma'am. We take our customer service very seriously here."
Turns to me.
"You know our motto?"
I roll my eyes harder than I knew they could roll.
"Give 'em the pickle. If you can't live by that standard, maybe this isn't the right fit for you. I think we need to discuss your plans for the future at this company."
At this point, I'm actually flabbergasted. I can see residual recognition in SM's eyes, but it's clear he doesn't know who I am, or remember that I don't actually work for him. My mouth is opening and closing like a dying fish, but I quit.
"Well, if that's how you feel." "No, I quit."
I'm feeling stupidly unable to communicate past tense.
"Who's your supervisor? I'll radio them to come complete your exit."
Still like a dying fish before epiphany. You know what? Screw this. I don't need pants that bad. And I promptly left. At the wrong door. I had to walk all the way around the mall to get to my car without going back through the store, but I wasn't going in ever again. So later I called up my friend who still works there. This is where I eventually get the handy uniform change info, relay the whole stupid story ready for a laugh. She responds, "Oh my god, that was you? He spent hours trying to figure out who walked off." 5. So a bit of setup before the main event. I work at an extremely busy tourist shop in an equally busy tourist town. Our complex is made up of 3 businesses that cater to the needs of tour groups and freedom travelers. There's a cafeteria, a souvenir shop, and a guided hiking office. During the early morning and afternoon, we get a rush of buses coming through to head to the tourist destination that's a very popular filming location. We cater for morning and afternoon tea and shopping. So it's about 1 hour and a half of chaotic shopping, and the buses will usually get to about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the group to shop. I work as a supervisor, not supervisor, same responsibilities, less pay, in the souvenir side of the complex. So the shop is set up with 2 main registers at the front of the shop, one in the middle and one at the back, which is mainly used for quick currency exchanges. There is also one other register that is used for Chinese-speaking staff and tourists, and is situated near the 2 front registers. The Chinese side of the shop sells specific items that cater to their customers and products that you can really only purchase in our country. This is where our story takes place. M, me, CM, Chinese manager, MM, my manager, BD, BD2, bus driver and bus driver 2. OL, obvious lifter, TG, tour guide. I arrived for my shift, which was just a couple of hours long for counting and closing. I arrived in the middle of returning bus rush to MM telling me we had an item lifted in the morning, and we were expecting the bus back any moment. We have a list of specific codes so we can identify groups and freedom travelers. The item that was taken was about $90, and OL was confronted in the morning about taking it, and apparently told the staff that he was taking it to show his wife and daughter the product. He gave staff a $100 note and told them he did not take it, but was given his change and he left to get back on the bus. Now on the camera you can clearly see him pick up the product, look at the staff at one of the main registers and take it away from the stand past the blind spot, and see him walking between the jewelry stands, lift his pocket flap, and put it in. The kicker, I tell you, is that his wife and daughter were standing near him on the opposite side when he took it. The tour group had arrived back at this point, and I am not a very confrontational person, but I stand up for my co-workers because we all put up with the same BS every day. OL and TG walk up to the front counter, asking for MM who had left because her shift ended. So I said, "You want to talk to CM because it's her product that was lifted." So CM takes OL and TG to her computer to look at the camera footage from this morning, to go over the evidence. She asks me to watch for support and put my 2 cents in if necessary. So for the next 20 minutes or so, OL and TG argue back and forth that he did not lift the item, he only took it to show his wife and daughter. CM doesn't take this too lightly because she has the evidence of the theft clearly showing him putting it in his pocket. Other people on the tour group were gathering round to look at the footage, but I told them to leave because it's not their concern. This didn't stop them. Another 10 minutes go by, and at this point OL is recreating his walk path to show that he didn't take it. He kept denying it the whole time. Now, by common sense, I know that if they deny and the evidence is certifiably true, the more guilty they sound. BD comes over at this point because OL and TG are holding up schedule for his tour. He stands next to me and helps me debate over how to deal with it to get everyone on both sides to be satisfied. Me, being a non-confrontational person, put on my supervisor pants and decided to sort this mess out. My co-workers know I never get angry or bring out my customer service voice, but I could tell CM was done with OL at this point. Sir, I am aware of the situation at hand, and all we are asking for is an apology. You've paid for the product that was taken after you were confronted this morning by MM. All we ask is that you apologize and everything is dropped and you can leave. He tried interrupting me. Sir, again, all you have to do is apologize for what you did. If you do not, however, we will contact the police and you can sort it out with them if you keep acting like this towards myself and my staff. As soon as I mentioned the P word, he suddenly forgot how to speak English and would only speak his native language to his friends and to TG. Sir, please listen, all you have to do is apologize. If you do, everything is fine. The product has been paid for, even if it has not been returned to us. He interrupts again.
I did not take the product.
Sir? If you did not take it, then where is it?
It must be in the shop somewhere, have you checked?
Says TG. TG, we have had several hours to tidy and search the shop since you left this morning, and nothing was turned in. So from what I have seen from the footage, he did in fact take it. All I'm asking is that you apologize.
I did not take it.
Insert me repeating the above text another 2 times. BD2 turned up and asked if I needed any help dealing with OL. I said I'd be fine. He stood there enjoying his hot chocolate and brownie with the sideshow of me being supervisor. Me, obviously frustrated with the back and forth going on, I said one final time, Sir, we know and have evidence of you taking the product with failure to produce that item that was lifted. If you do not apologize to CM soon, we will get the police involved, and we have authority to publish a screenshot of you lifting the item to social media, so that other businesses may be aware of you and your group. Police is an obvious bluff, but it gets people nervous. That's usually when they fess up or will start being truthful. After another 5 minutes of them talking in their native language, he finally apologized to me, but not to CM. I told him to apologize to CM, not to me, because I had not been there in the morning. After another 2 minutes of talking between themselves, he finally apologized to CM and walks away. That was it. That's all it took. QTG telling me about our security cameras and we should have more around the shop. I said that I know about the camera situation, but OL shouldn't have taken anything in the first place. I was finally able to stop internally panicking about the whole thing, and we were able to serve the rest of our customers for the remaining time. My co-workers commended me on my monotone customer service and how I remained surprisingly calm through the whole exchange. The joys of being supervisor, not supervisor. Hey everybody, Hellfreezer here, and thank you very much for listening to Adventures in Fast Food and Retail, number 52. And thank you very much to everybody who allowed me to use their stories in this video. Finally done with recording. Always seems to take longer when things are warmer. Well, I can put the fan on now, get a nice cool refreshing drink. I stopped using them for a while, because I thought, I got a throat infection, which I'm not entirely convinced I'm clear of, months back. And I think I blamed that, although it probably wasn't really that, to be honest with you. But just coincidence. So I stopped using them for a while, but I really do like the mason jars, because you can kind of crush ice and everything, and you can put like very cool things in them. So I bought them. I'll probably only keep them for a little while before I toss them, though, because they're quite cheap. And the lids do get kind of, icky after a while. Even you wash them, yeah. Anyway, With that, I'm going to head off for now, so until next time, thank you very much for listening, and take very good care of yourselves.